Welcome to another edition of In the Spotlight with the Minnesota Magicians. I'm Jimmy Lillidahl, Director of Media Relations and Broadcasting for the expansion. The Magicians continuing action, a home set against the Springfield Junior Blues, 4 games in a row against the Blues. The Magicians playing very well as of late. On Friday night, the Magicians getting the 2-1 victory in overtime. In the first period, there was no scoring. In the second period, Springfield getting the lead. Lester Lancaster getting the goal. He's a Mercyhurst commit. Assisting on the goal, Nikita Prishivelko, as the Junior Blues led 1-0 after 2 frames. In the third period, it's E2 Carvenin, the Finnish native, finding the twine. Tony Uglum and Will Johnson collecting assists for E2. That's his 10th goal of the season, as the Magicians tie it up at 1 goal apiece late in the third period. In the overtime, just 14 seconds in, Jack Weiss getting the puck off the faceoff, finding Matt Colford. Colford streaking down the left side and setting up Will Johnson in front of the goal for the Magicians' victory. Will Johnson collecting another goal. I believe he's got 15 on the season, as Johnson gets the game winner. The Magicians again winning in overtime. Just 3 penalties in the game. A lot of back and forth action. Pretty entertaining. Brian Neese, stingy as ever. Just 1 goal allowed as he gets his 2nd win in a row. And the Magicians go to 5-2-1 against the North Division. On Saturday night, it was Pink Night. Susan G. Komen of Minnesota involved in that one. We've been highlighting that one here on In the Spotlight in the last couple of weeks. The Magicians starting the scoring in the first period. Derek Huchera early on, just 6 minutes in, scoring from the right point. Will Johnson and Tony Uglum collecting assists. The Magicians getting their 2nd goal from Dennis Chevron. Chevron getting his 3rd goal in the season. Matt Colford and Alex Funk collecting assists. Chevron had a big night. He gets another in the 2nd period. Chevron peels it off the wall on the far side, walks to the middle, and gets his 2nd goal of the evening. Nice for Chevron as he scores half of his goal production in this game alone. So a big night for Dennis Chevron, the German native, as the Magicians hold on to a 3-0 victory. Again, this is on Pink Night. The video cutting out for those last 2 goals. We apologize for that. Some issues with the Fast Hockey download. Matt Colford getting 2 points. Again, Dennis Chevron getting the 2 goals. Brian Neese gets his first career shutout in 46 career appearances. Neese going to 6-6 in the season with the goals against of 3.07. The Magicians get their 3rd win in a row over the Junior Blues. Welcome back to In the Spotlight with the Minnesota Magicians. I'm alongside veteran Dylan Daly. Daly, one of the first things I noticed about covering you last season is you played with a lot of different programs, Chicago Young Americans, Russell Stover, Shattuck St. Mary's, most recently the Aberdeen Wings. Talk a little bit about bouncing around and all the different places you played throughout the United States.
Well, growing up, I moved around a lot, overseas a lot, and so I'm kind of used to it by now. And the past couple of places I moved to play hockey and just play at the best possible location I could for myself. I've always been a little bit envious of the high school players who get to go up through high school and play in front of a lot of fans. I've always played in front of my parents, but in Aberdeen it was nice. There was a lot of fans there, and just playing around a lot, I gained a lot of experience, and feel like I've grown a lot as a player.
Talk about your style of play. You seem to be more of a smooth defenseman, someone that's kind of hard to rattle. Talk a little bit about your style of play, and obviously you've had some success with it. You've made it here all the way to the North American Hockey League.
Yeah, I've always a couple years ago I was kind of in between phases. I didn't really know if I wanted to be that offensive guy, tried to be on the power play and get goals and stuff, and just kind of last season I figured out I want to be a stay-at-home defensive defenseman, and I've embraced that role. I strictly break the puck out to the forwards, let them do their thing. I'll get hits, I'll block shots, basically be another guy in front of the net to try to stop a puck. And it's done pretty well for me right now, and I hope it can take me to further places, because there's not too many guys willing to say, I don't want to be on the power play right now. I'd rather kill a penalty.
Talk about the recent surge. A lot of games recently against the Junior Blues, 4 in a row, but that's a playoff team, a team that's above 500. They have 4 Division I commitments. They're a legit team in the North Division, and the Magicians taking 3 of 4 like it's nobody's business, and now 3 in a row.
Yeah, you know, we came out. We like the first game to try to get our feelers out. Got a little bit of a late start to the game, and we picked it up in the third, but it wasn't enough to get us the win. But next games we turned it on. We knew what they were all about, and we just brought it to them. We hit. We got shots to the net. We realized that some of their defensemen weren't the fastest of guys. So we got pucks behind them, got it moving behind the net, got shots to the net, and scored. Got the win.
Part of the recent surge has to do with goaltender Brian Neese, a guy that hasn't seen the most action between the pipes, but a guy that's been productive with the time that he's had. He's now 6-6 with the goals against, just over 3, a solid save percentage. Talk about Brian Neese and how that's kind of helped the team get these last 3 wins.
Well, you know, Brian Neese, ever since I got here, he battles hard in practice every single day, and I'm glad he got his he finally got his opportunity to play in net, and he's done well for us. He's on fire right now, and I see no reason to take him out. He's doing well.
Before we get to Wednesday, it's a 10-day idle period as far as games go. Obviously, there's going to be some practices, but some of the boys getting an opportunity to go back to the family, kind of unwind a little bit, kind of like another break here as we go forward with the final 13 games. How important is that break for the guys? I know there's been a lot of games as of late.
Well, in January we had one long month. We had, I think it was 6 games, maybe 9 days, and it was tough on us. We went up to Alaska, played a lot of games up there. That was a 13-day road trip, but we got through it, and I think this break will be good for us, but I want to keep at it too, because we're on a good streak right now, and I want to keep that going. So we'll practice hard, and we'll carry this momentum into Wednesday's game, and then over this break next to the next week. Games.
And then about Wednesday, again, that's tomorrow night. Fans come out to Richfield Ice Arena. They're going to drop the biscuit at 7:05. Another rematch against the Minnesota Wilderness. I believe this is the 11th meeting between the two clubs. Obviously, plenty of games between the two. I think the series sits at 4-6. The Magicians down a couple. How important is Wednesday to keep this streak alive?
Wednesday's very important. They're a tough team to play against, but we know what they're all about, and we can definitely get a victory from them. They're a tough team. They hit, and they get shots in the net. They play a very simple style. They just get pucks deep and grind. No finesse about them, and we know that, and we know how to counter that, and we will.
Dylan Daly here, veteran defenseman for the Minnesota Magicians. I'm Jimmy Little. Thanks for taking the time. A big thanks to veteran Dylan Daly for stopping by to take the time to speak with us before practice here. The Pink Night was a success. Some solid numbers coming in from that. Over $3,000 raised in the auction, the live auction and the silent auction. Fans getting an opportunity to grab those pink uniforms. I think Dylan Daly's went the highest. I think it was $240. The Magicians, again, that was a big night. So Susan G. Komen getting the proceeds from that. And then another positive, the Magicians getting 3 wins in a row as that continues. All 3 of those wins were against the Springfield Junior Blues, and one of those coming in Springfield, Illinois. On Wednesday night, the Magicians will take on the Wilderness here at home. The Magicians are 4-6 against the Wilderness. 2 more matchups between the two teams, as it's a total of 12 meetings between the two clubs in the season. Also, another notable, the Top Prospects Tournament. The rosters were just announced for that. Ate Tolvanen representing the Midwest Division between the pipes. Nick Kuchera, the captain of the Magicians, named to the club. And then Will Johnson representing the U18 division, as they will compete against the other divisions in the Top Prospects Tournament. That's going to do it for another edition of In the Spotlight with the Minnesota Magicians. A big thanks to Dylan Daly. That's going to do it. So long, everybody.